Hey, how you doing? I'm down here, by the way. You probably can't see me in between all of these images. These are from Midjourney, which you probably have heard about now. There's lots of videos, there's lots of images out there on the World Wide Web. This is artificial intelligence, and of all the image creators that I've used, and there are loads out there, loads and loads, some free, not so good, some way you got to pay for. Midjourney at the minute is beating them hands down for me. There's lots of other ones out there. I haven't used some of them as extensively as Midjourney, but I absolutely love it. And what I find brilliant about it is getting inspiration for some web design, but also some images. Maybe I want to create a website about fantasy or, like a fantasy website. And I've got one of those coming out shortly today as well, where I've generated all of the images using Midjourney. The reason for this video isn't to talk to you about this is why you need to use it. Some people have struggled with some of the prompts, and I'm just going to go through what I use. So if you don't care about Midjourney, then this video might not be for you, but if you are using it, then please proceed. I've logged into my Midjourney account. Number one, you create a Discord account, right? Make sure you've got a Discord account, whether you're using it for any other purpose or whatever. It doesn't matter what you use it for. Then you go to midjourney.com. And then you click sign in. Now, as long as your Discord account is up and running and it's active, it will then sign you in to basically here. And this is the symbol you want to go for, Midjourney. You might have some other Discord areas as well, but this is the one you want to go to, Midjourney. It looks like a ship sailing on a river. Well, I think it is a ship anyway. So you want to go there. Then what you want to do is go to any one of these newbie rooms, right? You can pick any room you want. It doesn't really matter where you go, but I seem to always go with Newbies 198 because that's the one I was using before. And here's what you now do to create an image. Down here, you have to put in a certain format. So you've got to put \imagine, and then it will say to you the word prompt. Just click it. So you have \imagine prompt. Now here's where you put your descriptions in. So I'm going to go and do something like this. I'm going to say yellow and black landing page with buttons like that. Okay, so hopefully that's going to generate like an example of a website. You might even want to put the words website, web design, something like that, just to give it a few more words. The richer you make the words, the more elaborate it can be. And if you start scrolling up and down, you're going to see some descriptions here, which are, I mean, this looks long, but this is nothing like some of the ones I've seen. They are huge, loads of wording, because they want to get variation. Right, let's just go back over here. Now, here's what I recommend you do after you've written that. I would then write in the words upscaled, comma, 4K. You can actually type 8K as well. I've even seen some people go and type stuff like 16K, but I'm quite happy with 4K because we're just getting some ideas. Now, here's the really key bit. You want to go -- AR, and now you decide on 3.2 or 2.3. 3.2 is more basically landscapey. 2.3, so if I change this to be 2.3, and I hope you can see this on the screen, will be more portraity, okay? And if you were to go for 1:1, well, that's just going to be your 1:1. But just go with 3:2, if I'm going to be honest, because that works pretty well. Then I'm going to put a space. Then I'm going to go -V space 4. I'll put a 3 in there. I want to go with 4. So please note --AR3 :2, and then space --V space 4. V4 is version 4. It's the latest version that we have now available. I'm just going to copy this for a moment like that. And I'm now just going to hit return. If you go for V3 or V2, you can still use Midjourney, but it will not be as good. Now, this description that I've just gone over here, I am actually going to pop it into my notes over here so that I can pop it into the video description so you can just copy paste it. Now, the time it takes for this to generate can differ between a minute to 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. But while that is generating, I'm going to go and create another one. Okay, so I'm going to go in and type in imagine again. Hit the prompt. I'm going to type in basically a copy of what I had before, but this time we'll go in a little bit elaborate. So how about we type in cyberpunk, and how about we go with cyberpunk circles, right? I mean, that sounds now a little bit dodgy, right? I don't, like, what are we really going to get there? So we're going to go with Did I type circles in right? No, I didn't. Let's just do that again. There we go, circles. And now let's just hit return there. That's why it's kind of good when you copy your text, because you just paste it again and modify it. So that one is now generating. But over here, this one has now generated. This is all being done in real time. There's no pause, edit, whatever. Well, there will be an edit. When I now click it, that's the image generated, and I hope you can see that okay. In fact, I'm just going to shrink myself out a little bit so that you can see that a little bit better. Told you this is all live, and it looked there I go. You probably prefer it when I'm that small anyway. We now have an example landing page, right? And I can zoom in a little bit as well. So we got buttons, The one thing to bear in mind, though, is that the reason why you're probably looking at this and going, wow, look at this, it's the images. Remove the image and all you have is a black pane with text and buttons at the top. Even here, remove the background and the image. What have you got? It's just buttons and text. Down here, just buttons. We got, look, this is a bit of an interesting layout, isn't it, for a hero banner? Imagine right now, this was what you see on the desktop. From the get-go, before you go down the fold. We got headlines, buttons, an image, and you got your services. Normally, we tend to scroll down for our services. Maybe this gets you thinking a little bit differently now. And I have to say, I quite like that design, and I might use it in one of these upcoming designs I'm going to be thinking about. So I'm just going to go over and do save image, and I'm just going to call this yellow 01 like that. Now, if I just jump back in over to my actual account, I'm just going to refresh my page. The images you generate will eventually appear here as well, because here's one of the things about Midjourney that isn't great, and it's not their fault. It's not an app, okay? You're doing it via Discord, so it's not on your desktop per se, even though it is in your Discord app, but ignore that. So when you say to it, now go and create something, so right now it's gone and done the circles one, there will be loads of other entries appearing, and sometimes you have to scroll up and down to go and find what you had generated, and it will be highlighted in a bit of a yellowy shade over here. So here we have the circles one, the cyberpunk one I did. Again, you're going to look at this and go, wow, look at this. But don't be swayed by that too much, because a lot of this is actually the images. Look, you got text buttons, maybe a subscribe form, some buttons down there again. This is images, right? The power of the images going on. But if you don't want to be scrolling up and down in Discord, when you are in your Midjourney page, once you've logged in and it's connected, your images will also appear here. You can go into it, click the image, and you might go, okay, open it in, yeah, there you go, get the full command, the full prompt or whatever, open it in Discord. Because why would you want to go back into Discord? Because I'm here to talk to you about the prompts, right, and what you do. So we've already spoken about the AER, we've spoken about the V4, you can do 4K, 8K, all of that. If we go over here to my image, right, let's just go back, let's just click this one here. Let's say I like this image here. I quite like this one here. The way the order works is image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4. Okay, so this is image 2. Okay, I want to upscale image 2 because right now this is a grid of 4. And I want that image, I might use it in a presentation, or maybe there is no text on it and I just want the image. What you do is you go over to your Discord, and here we have it. I'm going to say upscale image 2. Image 1, 2, 3, 4. Upscale image 2. Now I have to wait for that to upscale image 2. Maybe, though, I'm not content with what it gave me. So I'm actually now just going to go over and click this looping circle we got over here. And this will now regenerate those 4 as 4 new images. I don't lose what I've got here. That remains. And it's now going to go and create a variation. V1, 2, 3, 4, this is your versions of Midjourney. If you go to V3, you're going to get a different image. It won't be as polished because I've tried them out. The only good thing about things like V3 are that you can now put the size in. So you can say hyphen width 1920 hyphen height 1080. So you can get proper like scaling. You can't do that in V4 yet, but Honestly, once you've tried V3, you'll be going back to V4 because it is a much more polished system in how it works. So what we have over here is we have our upscaled version that is still creating, but I have also got another version of the image, another version of the 4 images created down here as well. So this is now generated, and here we go. Look at that. That's a really cool image. I quite like that one. Look at the layout of that. So this is great for giving you inspirational ideas, but I cannot stress enough, it is the power of the image, okay? Right, let's just close those down, and hopefully if we go back to Discord over here, this version is still generating. And this is the thing. Things sometimes don't happen as quick as you would like. You want to click it and you want it to be there within seconds. It doesn't always work like that. Let me just close that down and we just refresh. And sometimes you just have to leave it and come back. I mean, I've got loads of images I've created over here. I've had a lot of fun just creating images in here. You know, I mean, I could go all the way down. You know, where do we start? By the way, sometimes when I put in my text, it went and generated this image. I did not create this, nor did I create this image here. But for some reason, they appeared in mine. So please bear that in mind as to what you're doing. And also, you can import your own images as well. I might as well show you that as well while we're here. Can I backtrack a moment? I'm probably giving you rubbish advice. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I said that completely wrong. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just going to recreate this one, all right? This is image 3. I got it wrong. So over here, I'm going to upscale image 3. Sorry, brain explosion. I went 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Big reminder there. Okay. Now, what if you want to create an image that is actually based on a photograph? So I'm going to hit the plus sign down here and I'm going to upload a file. So I'm going to upload an image of my son Raheem over there with his elves, and I am just going to hit return. That image is publicly available. So you got to bear that in mind if you're not keen on public available images being out there, okay? I am going to click this image and I'm going to copy the URL for this. I need the URL, okay? And you might want it, well, yeah, just copy the URL. That'll be fine. Then we go back over to our Discord and I'm now going to type in imagine again with the word prompt. What you then do is paste the URL for that image that you can see there. And I'm now going to change it, and I'm going to change it into, let's go with cyberpunk. So I've typed in cyberpunk lights and neon robots dancing, and we're going to go with, I'm not going to do the AR. I'm not really buzzed by that. So I'm just going to go -V, and then I'm going to put a 4. In fact, we will put 4K in as well like that. And we're going to hit generate. Now, with Midjourney, you can do 25 of these. So each time I do a prompt, that's a prompt. You can do 25 of them for free. And then you got to sign up and pay if you want to do any more. Now, I have subscribed to where I'm paying $10 a month or $8.99 or however it works in the currency. But $10 a month, I can do 300 prompts per month. That's quite a fair amount. But let me tell you now, this is quite addictive, and you could easily sit there doing about 200 in one night if you're not careful. So anyway, this is now creating the image, and I think it's already done it. So there we go, yeah, while my son is being created as a cyberpunk, this image that we upscaled is now available. It will be available in our Midjourney account as well. I'm just going to close that down, because what I wanted to show you was that that image has now been created. But what I can also do is do a variation. So if I now hit variation, it is now going to take that image and give me 3 other versions or 4 versions of that image. So I don't have to just use that one upscaled one. Takes a bit of a while getting your head around this. You create an image, you then pick one of them to upscale, and then you make variations of that, or you do an entire brand new variation. So let's just scroll down now. I think my son's image is actually now ready. So we know what the image looked like. Let's just go back to what it was, which is over here. So this is my son. That was my son sitting there. And now we're going to go over and click the image and just see what it's created. And you can see there, it's not, you know, I mean, you could argue it doesn't look anything like him, but I could have put the words photorealistic as well in the description, and that would have probably made it a whole lot more realistic. But it has kind of taken the color of his clothing, and it is kind of you know, it's not too bad, I would say. It's not too bad, I think. It's actually quite funky. But if you are careful with your wording, you can actually be quite crafty with what is produced. Right, let's just scroll down over here. Before we go on to the final image where I did the variation, just look at some of the descriptions they've done here, like pretty elf woman with blonde hair in long black dress flying near the ground, casting necromancy spell. Look at this, right? I mean, let's just click this image and look. This is what the Midjourney is creating. Now, one of the contentious issues about Midjourney is that, is it actually unique art? Well, in a way, it's kind of using images from around the world, millions and millions of images, or probably billions and trillions. And what it's doing is it's kind of using them and then using AI, either artificially inseminating your images onto it or distorting them to kind of fit your description. So who owns the image? Well, is this public released available imagery it's using? Is it using stock imagery and removing the watermarks? It's a contentious issue. Can you use these on your commercial, products or usage or websites or anything like that? I don't want to answer that one because I do think that the answer to that I don't feel like is clear cut at the moment. Anyway, look, this has now generated that version. So here was the original image that we had, and I said go and give me variations of that. Here's the alternate version, so let's just click that, and basically we have like a more robotic look, a more human look, so you can take an image, pick one of them to upscale, and then create variations of it, and you can do more variations and more variations, because that image will be, and here's what I mean about scrolling up and down. You're now looking for basically, here, was it this one? No, it's not that one. You're going to find it. There are ways that you can search, but let me tell you now, I have found that not all too good in a way. But anyway, look, here's the alternate version of what I did. I could click that and create another variation of that one image that we'd already picked, or I could say just upscale one of those and now give it to me in a slightly higher resolution. Now, the resolutions for these aren't huge. I have found some of them to be like 1,500 pixels by about 1,000 pixels wide. Some of them a little bit less than that. So you're not going to get full width wallpaper sized images, but I have used these on some example websites, buildings that I'm doing, and they look pretty damn good, which is why the 4K or the 8K or the 16K might be a really good idea if you're thinking about the resolution of your images. Yeah, those were just some of the prompts I was using, and I'll put one of them in the video description so you can go away and have a play. I'm Imran Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow, and have some fun.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat.